Yo, and welcome back to some Granblue Fantasy Relink as we continue our journey of doing fates. And let's start with Ferry next, because we have like 9 left. There's too many of them.
I'm from Tremont Island, a quiet little place where I lived with my parents and sister. Things were good, except my sister was suffering from a terrible condition. We couldn't treat her on Tremont, so she was forced to travel to another island, all on her own. Back then, skyfaring wasn't nearly the safe bet that it is today, so I wasn't sure if she'd even make it there, let alone receive treatment. I loved my sister more than anything, so waving bye to her as she took off toward an unknown future was the hardest thing I'd ever done. I hoped beyond all hope. I hoped till it hurt, that her cure would be swift, and she'd sail back to me with each setting sun. But the days, they grew into months. Sometime after she left, a brutal pandemic spread across Tremont, crippling our population in a matter of days. I was shocked, watching the good people I'd known all my life pass away. But I was horrified when it claimed my parents. And when it came for me, I knew death was waiting at the front door. What can I do? I thought, lungs heavy and weighing me to my bed. What could I do but turn to the skies and pray? Please, if you're listening, I want to hear my family. I want to hear their voices again. My pleas were answered, but not by salvation. No, it was Celeste, the Primal Beast of death, who descended from the heavens. She stole death from the suffering islanders, preventing them from slipping into the afterlife. They became zombies.
Oh god.
And rotting.
Do they still have their own mind?
Like the others, my corporeal form faded away, leaving my spirit to haunt the land. This, at least, gave me a faint hope. If I was given an unlife, then perhaps my mother and father would be given the same gift. But the months, they grew into
Mother
years.
and father.
And it became clear that those
So how old is she? Is she like young? I guess
was a more complicated
mentally by now she would be like old, but her body is still young.
Brought unlife to Tremont.
Or her ghost body.
For turning my hometown into a living cemetery. If the villagers knew what I had done, well, that's why I chose to haunt the manor on the outskirts of town. Alone in those halls, with no one to talk to, I counted the days until I lost track of time.
Now that sucks. She got blamed for all that.
Isolation was better than hearing my name.
I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of characters that have done some wild things, like carrying their own body.
At my name, until even I forgot who I was.
So she's a lucky one that managed to, like, I'm curious about the zombie people then. Is their consciousness still there, or it says Celeste, the Primal Beast or whatever, stole death away from them, preventing them from going to the afterlife. So where is their soul? Like, is their soul in their body, or is it like inside this other area? Because I'm assuming they couldn't pass through or cross over, so they're in limbo or purgatory somewhere, or I don't know, wherever these Primal Beast thing is keeping them. Lonely no more. Oh my god, look at that short stack in the back over there.
It's true that there
I was told that they're based off of cows, and that's why they have like large chests.
They took a liking to me, probably because of our shared ghosthood, and I gave them cute names to show my affection. Beppo, Gigi, Fuji, and Nicola. Before I knew it, my lonesome days became a little less gray, if not less repetitive. I watched so many tomorrows and yesterdays pass me by. I felt as stale and constant as the mists that covered the island. That all changed when the crew came to my manor. They were a cheerful, lively group, but also straightforward and intimidating. It had been so long since I needed to interact with other people. I knew that if I made contact, I would have to acknowledge the real depth of my loneliness. So I ran, and they gave chase. So I ran again, and they followed once more. No matter where I fled, they found me, undeterred by my spectral form or my ghostly pets. Finally, I decided to ask them about their situation. Thanks to the mists, they explained, their airship was grounded on Tremont. Like me, like the other islanders. We were all prisoners of Celeste.
Oh, and you know who
So
we're about to
long
go
as she
kill.
still had a pact with the island, there would be no refuge from her fog. But, by the same token, her powers preserved the unlives of Tremont's people, myself included. If Celeste was brought down,
Oh,
we would fade with
that makes
her.
sense.
It troubled me, but I knew it was a necessary course of action. I had only one thing to accomplish before confronting the Primal Beast of Death. I needed to come clean to the Islanders. It was time to make amends. Had it not been for the arrival of the captain and the crew, I would never have found the strength to make that decision.
Oh, so she
I
didn't try
marched
to explain
straight
it to
the
them.
village, took a deep breath, and explained to the people how I doomed everyone. But to my surprise, they looked upon me with sympathy and warmth.
Ferry lived on the mist-shrouded island with her parents and said her sister contracted the incurable disease and left the island to find treatment. So her sister is still out there somewhere. Sometime after a plague swept the island, claiming the lives of Ferry's parents and many islander. Okay, and then Celeste showed up and stopped them from carrying over. Ferry herself grew ill. Desperate, she prayed to the sky, but she was answered by Primal Beast. Okay, because during this, I was like, I don't know, why is she blaming herself and why she keep saying it's her fault? So she thinks because of her prayer that Celeste showed up. I don't know. I feel like Celeste just showed up on her own. Like, how is it conveniently this spirit, Primal Beast, showed up and it was already contracted to this island, you know? But to be fair, if this has always been the thing, how come it's never happened before till now, you know? So she only has one family left, her sister. God, maybe because it's the outfit, it looks like
With the
her
understanding and support
top
of
is
the
like
Islanders,
sticking out.
I called Celeste once again, but she didn't appear, and the mist still covered the island. That's how I learned the truth. It wasn't only me who had crossed Celeste's fate with our own.
Okay, I was like, seems so.
The other culprit was the doctor who was traveling through our village, back when the pandemic first appeared. He was secretly conducting research to summon Celeste.
So it isn't your fault.
We
See,
hurried to the place.
it's like
where
that's
he
so
resided,
oddly convenient.
but when we arrived, we found that his consciousness had already been swallowed by the Primal Beast of Death, and he couldn't cough up any helpful information. Despite the setback, I joined with the crew and the Islanders to find and defeat Celeste. The mists parted, and the island returned to its former state. Its residents began to pass into the great beyond, disappearing into light. Before long, everyone I'd known had been lifted into the bright sky, leaving behind only their memories. I closed my eyes and waited for my final moments. But no matter how long I waited, I never began to fade.
Huh?
Left behind, yet again. I stared out at the village, devoid of residents. I was alone, but I could accept that. At any rate, the nameless ghost was no more, because a strange man gave me an oddly familiar name. So long as I had that name, and my memories with the crew, I could wait decades, maybe even centuries for my sister to return. I think the captain, however, couldn't bear leaving me to such a hollow fate and invited me to the crew. But how could I leave the island? I knew that my little sister would come back to me. Even though we were no more than graves and warm thoughts, this is where her family was laid to rest.
You leave
If
her a
she came
note,
back
a
when
letter?
no one was waiting, wouldn't she be sad? That's why I knew
Oh.
I had to stay. But the captain wouldn't hear of it. If I was worried about my sister, I should go look for her. It was a new chance. I had never been off my island. I had never even considered the option. But I knew I could. I just needed to find the courage. And that's how I set out on a journey with the crew. Somewhere, out there in that big blue sky, my sister is waiting for me.
I mean, you could just leave a note, a letter, tell the villager, hey, if you see my sister, or I'm assuming they know her family, or you see someone that looks like me, give them this letter, or tell them about me, you know?
One day, I was out shopping in Seed Hollow Central Plaza when I saw a woman with kind eyes sitting on a bench. She was absorbed in her needlepoint. Your embroidery is beautiful.
Oh, aren't you a dear? Thank you.
Her smile was genuine and cozy, just like the blanket she was working on. She told me it was a present for her beloved. I've never seen anyone so outside before. She giggled. Really? I'm hoping some of this cheerful sunlight works its way into the fiber. Her name was Malfira, and she invited me to have a seat beside her. Admittedly, the weather was beautiful, the kind that made you appreciate being alive.
I wonder if this lady lost someone important, her family,
unalive.
and she has to, like, she
There
feels
was a
bad about
long,
staying alive
thin
or
trail
something.
of white dividing the sky, the aftermath of an unfortunate
A lot of the
cloud
story
that had
is like
been pierced
similarities
by a
to the
wayfaring
character.
airship. How fragile those clouds. How fragile our journeys. I glanced back at Malfira, who looked to be making diligent progress. A familiar memory crept to mind, of a time when I begged my mother to sew new stuffed animals for me and my sister. The nostalgia was comfortable, welcomed even, but I was brought back to the present when I heard a troubled sigh from beside me. Is something wrong? Such a forlorn expression didn't match Malfira's cheerful disposition.
Oh, sorry to worry you. It's nothing I would bother a stranger over.
Malfira forced a grin and stretched the throw across her lap.
It's just, I had hoped to use warming thread on this little project.
What kind of thread? I didn't even know there were different types of thread. But according to Malfira, there was a type of insect native to Fondom whose silk was imbued with magic. Items made from this silk were said to retain a comfortable warmth all year round.
If only I could get to Fondom on my own. And then there's the matter of tracking the insect.
Her smile never quavered, but the way her eyebrows stitched together, ever so slightly, covertly signaled her true disappointment. I could do it for you! I know I look young, but I'm a veteran skyfarer! I put my hands on my hips and puffed out my chest, a posture I hoped would inspire confidence.
Oh, that's sweet. But it was just a silly thought. My fault for having unrealistic expectations, really.
From her tone alone, I could tell the pose did not, in fact, inspire confidence. Later, after a quick discussion with the captain, we decided to head to Fondom anyway. I needed Malfira to finish her blanket. I just didn't understand why yet.
Maybe it's for her unborn child. I don't know. I feel
Okay,
like there's
let's do
something
this.
connecting the two of the stories.
According to
Oh no.
Yarrow, the insect in question nests atop the local wildlife, but there's a rumor a vicious monster also makes its home here. Stay on your toes. Those look like fire spirits.
We better get them before they get us.
Okay. I was
Nothing
like,
of consequence,
is she
I guess.
geared? Oh my, they're level 30. Never mind, we'll be fine, even if she has none of the good gears. Come on. God damn you, man.
It's so hot.
That's how I feel right now. It's like 100 and something degrees
Why are
outside.
we going through the trouble again?
Sorry. I just wanted to put a smile on Malfira's face. She looked so, I don't know, forlorn?
But it was your first time meeting her, wasn't it? Who's she to you?
I know it's a weird connection, but her name, it sounded like my sister's. Looks like someone wants to fight. Let's teach them not to butt in. Fuji, no! Bad pup! That is not food! We'll eat as soon as we're back. Try to hold on a little longer. More wyverns. Momo, you bring up the rear.
Let none escape.
By me.
Next time, let's really show them what we're made of.
Understood.
We shall brave any danger.
Is there red over there? I don't think you can go over there.
All right, Nicola. I'll protect you from the mean monsters.
God damn it.
Are they?
Beppo! Down, boys! You can't play so close to the magma. What if you fall in? What do you think?
Huh? What's that?
Vyrn! Look out! It's a monster in disguise!
I mean,
You must be that vicious
It's-
monster we heard
it
about.
looks pretty.
If you thought you could get a
Oh.
leg up on us,
I thought it was a
you have
golem.
nothing coming. Now, get whipped! All at once! Play too hard now. Get up! He mustn't let them overtake us! Right. We'll look out for any strong attacks.
I mean, it was gonna last that long.
Nice! Another one in the book. Now we can find that bug in peace. Huh. You hungry for more? Is this what you were looking for? I proudly displayed the hard-won thread to a surprised and overjoyed Malfira.
My word, you really are a skyfarer, aren't you?
She took the spool for a closer look.
Yes, this is the genuine article. I can't accept this for free. Let me see what money I have on me.
From her purse, she pulled a single, unfamiliar coin. I knew from its extravagant design that it wasn't in circulation anywhere near Seed Hollow, but it looked valuable all the same. I refused the gesture. Retrieving the thread was my decision. I wanted to see that blanket finished. A reward was never part of the equation. Malfira's grin bloomed into a full belly laugh. She told me I was a strange girl. Laughing with her, I replied that I had met stranger.
All right. Ferry. Yeah, she's not. Humble finisher, skill assaults. Steady focus. What's steady focus do? Skill assault. Also cascade. Reduce health at start in exchange for a big boost of attack power. Have a combo finisher 3+. No, no. Eh. Looks like there isn't much. Combo, break assassin, steady. Let's attack. Combo finisher. Oh, I was going to give her skill assault. Took me a while to remember.
Good day. Let's see.
We made another pit stop in Seed Hollow, which gave me the chance to check up on Malfira and her progress with the blanket. Lyria and Vyrn came with me, and their eyes lit up when they saw her intricate embroidery, just like mine did that first sunny day. Though I hadn't known Malfira for very long, I felt a kinship with her, and I liked to watch her determination evolve with each new stitch. But most of all, I liked that her kind smile, maternal and comforting, was always able to put me at ease. I'd never met anyone so genuine. In fact, nor had my pets.
Who's a spooky boy? Yes, you are.
Malfira playfully scratched behind Beppo's ears. The mood was light, so I decided to learn a little more about my friend. I noticed you're in the Central Plaza quite often.
More or less. I don't have much else to occupy my time. Not with that silly boy still playing in the sand.
Uh-oh.
Malfira's partner was a geologist on dispatch in Dolly, an extended dispatch, it seemed. Dolly was an island of deserts, with bitterly
Oh, for a
cold
second, I
nights.
thought she was like that
To
boy.
Malfira, a cozy blanket
And
seemed
it's
the
just a
perfect
ghost,
way to
or-
combat the harsh environment.
Like, she
It
thinks
won't be
he's still alive.
necessary. He's coming back for a visit on
Like,
the
he's actually been
Airbus
dead the
next month,
entire-
and
the
I'm
entire
about to
time?
burst with excitement.
Her joy should have been infectious. Try as I might to put on a brave face, my heart sank at her words. The Airbus from Dolly? Of course.
Yep. What'd I say? A lot of these stories pose similarity to the character. So I'm like, okay, so there's gonna be something.
During the next month's visit, Malfira looked more downtrodden than I had ever seen. Vyrn expressed his distress before I could vocalize my own.
Holy spools, lady. You look like you've been up all night. You feeling okay?
Malfira meekly raised her head, barely affording him a grin.
My love, he didn't come back to me.
It took me a moment to find a response. I'm sure... I bet he'll find a way to return next month. She had already been waiting an eternity for him. What comfort were my words? And yet, she still found the strength to smile.
I hope so. I'm so tired of moping around like this. It's getting harder to stay positive, but I'll find a way, for his sake. That man, you know, he's so absent-minded, he probably mixed up the date on his ticket.
Malfira unrolled the blanket across her lap, checking the backing of her stitching.
I've poured a lot of love into this design. I hope he likes it.
As she vacillated from melancholy to forced cheer, and back again, I had to bite my lip for fear my thoughts would spill out. One month passed, and still no word from Malfira's beloved.
I'm sure he has his reasons.
Lyria tried to comfort the young seamstress, but Malfira's smile was noticeably dimmer than before.
Maybe he's not dead.
Yes, you're right.
I was like,
He's not one to take risks or push himself too far.
maybe she's delusional thinking he's still alive, because that's what I was getting the hand up, but
Her
maybe
words
not.
Sounded strained, like she was trying to convince herself. I thought I knew what was happening, but I couldn't bring myself to acknowledge it. Not yet. We were all stuck in awkward silence, so I changed the subject.
How did you two meet?
It was in this very plaza. He was a bookworm, so he came here to do his reading. I was out catching some sun myself when he found the courage to sit next to me. I turned to greet him and he shoved a book on embroidery in my face. Not the greatest first impression, huh?
Energy returned to her movements. Color returned to her smile.
So what did you do?
You're going to laugh. I told him I already owned the book. His face turned pale as a ghost, but it was cute, seeing him all vulnerable. So I asked his name, and the rest is history.
She shut her eyes, savoring the nostalgia. Then she sighed.
Guess I'll have to go to Dolly and drag him home myself, won't I?
Uh-oh.
No, not that. I couldn't let her go to Dolly alone. After witnessing her optimism return, I couldn't let her learn the
Okay,
truth.
so she doesn't know. I'm so confused. Either she's crazy and she's being delusional, or she's delusional thinking he's alive when the Dolly incident, so she thinks he's still there. Because it was only 15 years ago, I believe, from what they mentioned. Or he actually is alive and he's just taking a long time. Like, which is it? Oh yeah, I haven't leveled her weapons to 100. That's why. Okay, that's why the crit's so low.
No, you should stay here. We'll go for you. Dolly can be a dangerous place, and I'm sure your partner wouldn't want anything to happen to you. I hoped that logic would be enough.
Dolly? Dangerous? But so many people live there. But if a skyfaring crew is offering their services, who am I to deny professionals?
Vyrn scrunched his face in confusion.
Lots of people? What are you talking about? Dolly's basically a giant sand...
A quick nudge was enough to interrupt Vyrn. I hoped Malfira had missed the majority of his comment. You can trust us. We handle this kind of assignment all the time. We'll be back before you know it.
Okay, let's do it.
My air of confidence, false though it was, seemed to bring her welcome relief.
Could you take the blanket with you? I wanted to give it to him myself, but I know he's probably already spent weeks freezing at night, and it won't do me any good here.
She pushed a soft bundle into my hands. It was warm to the touch, thanks to the silk from Fondom, but it was also warm to the soul, thanks to the love and care that Malfira put into every stitch. Of course, it would be my pleasure.
Unless she is a ghost too. I wonder, is he really alive?
Let's do this.
Here we go.
According to Malfira's map, the excavation was near the central ruins.
You sure you want to trust that dusty old thing?
Point taken. But we can at least get a sense for the lay of the land. Now let's go.
Like, I'm getting so many mixed
This place is
messages.
crawling with monsters. Stay on your toes, everyone. Come on.
Oh, goddamn fucking sand wisps over here, the elemental.
Clean this place up so we can start our search!
It doesn't look like anything's here. Maybe we'll find something back at the western campsite. It's worth a look.
And before is another golem. Yo, where's the portal, the speed boost thing?
Do these guys get paid to fight us or what? Let's break you in!
Electromagnetic sand.
Starting to get
Oh,
restless.
is that rare?
Come on, let's hurry. This place feels right somehow.
Oh my god, is he actually a living person?
I think I saw someone over there!
Or is it a ghost? A mirage? Maybe they're both ghosts.
Where'd that dude from before go?
I think I know.
He's dead. It's a tombstone. So she is a ghost or she isn't? Because there has to be something similar. Yep.
No, it can't be. I'm afraid so. He's no longer with us, but we've at least found his resting place. That's some comfort.
Aw, even her ears goes in when she's sad.
What? No, that's impossible.
I
We
mean,
all stood before a
you
grave
see who you're talking to?
created 15 years ago in the wake of a
Okay,
terrible
yep,
calamity.
alright.
Carved on the back were the names of the deceased. And there, in the middle of them all, was the name of Malfira's beloved. I wrapped the blanket around the stone, tying it securely so the harsh desert environs wouldn't steal it, like it stole the lives of these scholars. Maybe it would at least keep their memory warm. Malfira put her heart and soul into this blanket. Take care of it, okay?
Aw. You know, it's actually not that bad when you kind of just watch it all in one go, compared to stopping, coming back, stopping, coming back. Now she can rest. Is she a ghost too?
When I returned to Seed Hollow, Malfira's voice was shaky.
Is he okay?
I couldn't face her as I struggled out a response. He's fine. He said the survey was taking longer than expected, that it's going to be a while before he can join you.
Oh, thank goodness. I was starting to fear the worst.
She was relieved. I was crushed. But how could I bring myself to tell her the truth? He said thanks for the blanket, that he'll never feel cold again.
Of course he won't. We made sure of that by retrieving the silk from Fondom.
Malfira's joy was contagious, but I still had to force myself to smile. I'm not sure if my act was convincing, but I knew, more than anything, that I didn't want to show her how sad I truly was. When her own grin softened, I knew my ruse had failed. If anything, my glaring lies had only cast a light on the truth she'd buried deep in her mind.
Oh, I can't thank you enough for delivering the blanket. I knew I couldn't rest until it was safely in his arms.
It clicked. Malfira knew what she was. She knew what I was. Hearing the sorrow evaporate entirely from her voice confirmed it. But now nothing bound her to the world, and she began to fade, like mist in the morning light. I watched, tears in my eyes, as the contours of her form blurred into abstraction.
She was the ghost!
Somewhere deep down, I knew I had died.
Okay.
It was the day
I was
he left
like,
for Dolly. I'm
hmm.
not sure what happened, but I just had to wait for him, hoping he would come sit next to me one more time.
She
I
gave
held
up her
on to
life
that hope
or something?
for what seems like an eternity.
Malfira, I'm sorry. I feel like I lied to you.
Oh, hush now. I bent the truth too, didn't I? I was glad for your company. Happy to have someone to chat with.
Malfira brought her hands to her chest and looked up to the infinite blue stretching above us.
Do you think he liked the blanket? Do you think he's warm now?
He was overjoyed. You found the best thread, stitched away in the sun, and poured your love into it. How could he not be? She smiled her last to me, more genuine and placid than ever before. Before we went to Dolly, I wanted to confirm my suspicions about Malfira. I checked with an airship engineer about airbuses to the desert.
Dolly? No liner's been out that way for about 15 years now, on account of what happened and all.
He explained that the last ship to Dolly was filled with scholars and their families, leaving on a journey from which they'd never return. But 15 years. She'd been waiting 15 years to deliver her gift. I knew her isolation. I wouldn't let her wait any longer.
There's a similarity. It's always something.
Before I was ready to part ways with Malfira for good, I decided I needed to build a new grave for her and her beloved in Dolly. I realized that she had been right. With both sand and chill nipping at your skin, the desert nights really were cold and unfriendly. Wrapping the blanket around the new gravestone, I looked up at the full moon and saw 2 shooting stars falling through the night sky like tears down a cheek. And I knew, despite the chill, this was the perfect resting place. I turned to my pets. It's okay now. They'll never be apart again.
Hand-drawn map. Yeah, listening to the story really isn't that bad if it's like in one go, even though it took 40 minutes for that one fate. But as you can see, these tend to draw like there's something alike between the two. Maybe they won't give you the same feeling for a different character perspective or something. I feel like they would have been good with just Fate 1 through 4. Oh well. Well, maybe Fate 1 to 3. No, is that 1 to 2? Yeah, 1 to 2. Well, I guess they want to give a little extra side story for their interactions with the NPCs or the other characters living, well, I guess it's on this island or the Zongo Grande. But hers wasn't also in that bad. At the end, I'm not like, I don't think it was really that great. What was I gonna say? God damn, I'm pondering on it. I'm like, I was gonna say something. Something about her being a ghost. Kinda forgot. But anyways, you guys get the gist of it. The wife was waiting there for years, kind of like Ferry, waiting for something to happen, to change, to get the opportunity. Someone came along and gave her the push she needed and helped her out, and then she finally was able to cross over. Yep. Well, now we get to see the cow people, who are not demon people. Guess we'll see next time from Hu Tao over here. Anyways, thanks for watching. Love you guys. Stay safe. I'll see you next time.